Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon. Today we're going to be looking at a deck that sort of flew under the radar after we saw the top 8 decks from the Frankfurt Regional Championships. With all the excitement of Steelix and Sylveon, this deck sort of has gone unnoticed, but it's one that in my early testing has been performing quite well actually. And this deck comes from Ilya Kornilov, I hope I'm getting that close. He's a Russian player. And he came up with a very interesting variant of Zoroark with Buzzwole that also used a couple of B strings in the deck as well. Now, I have made a few changes for my own personal preference and for a few threats that have now come out of Frankfurt. For example, I'm playing Zygarde for Sylveon. But the core is definitely here, and the concept behind the deck is very powerful. Really, having some good early pressure Pokemon, like the two Buzzwole and the two Buzz-GX, the one Baby Buzz, and now the Zygarde-GX, we have 4 leads, which are big HP and can start swinging early. We additionally have 2 Leles as well, which you start with. You're never too happy, but they can also just be one attachment, start swinging. And that can oftentimes set up damage counters for us to then lead into our Zoroark attackers on turn 2 or 3 or whatnot. So that's really nice for us. It really gives us a powerful Zoroark matchup in mirrors, because not only do we also have the Lycanroc to attack with, but we have even more early game pressure than other Zoroarks. So I think this is favoured against Zoroark. I think this is also got as many or more answers to Ray as well, because again, having the 4 prize turn with your baby Buzzwole being able to Sledgehammer, and having Buzz-GX in the early turns being able to Jet Punch, set Rays up for early knockouts with the Zoroark, and that really taking energy off the board very quickly should mean that we have a fairly favourable Ray as well, in comparison to some of the other Zoro builds, which try and keep up just with Lycanroc on its own, but this way we have a bit more early pressure rather than having to assemble Stadium, Choice Band, Kukui all at once, for example. We still have Choice Band Kukui in the deck, but it's a lot less reliant on that thanks to the early counters that we put on the board. So I really do like this concept. Of course, we have B-String as well to add additional burst for knockouts in these sort of O-Hit-KO matchups. So there's a lot going on here, and I really think this is an interesting deck going forward, because I believe this has answers to a lot of the top decks right now. So enough rambling, let's talk about the list and the decisions within it. We are going to start off with the 4-4 Zoroark line. That Zoroark engine is still just so strong. It has sort of been discredited recently because there is no Bridget, and Fan Club and Apricorn Maker are sort of pseudo replacements that don't quite work well enough. But in this deck, I still think it's fine, because we do have these early pressure Pokemon, and we have Brooklet to supplement our early engine. So the Zoroark is going to come out here and allow us just to keep cycling through our deck. Yes, we can attack with it. Yes, we do attack with it in a lot of matchups. But you don't need to really get 4 down on the board. You just want to see a lot of these. So we're going to max out the counts here. Righteous Beating's still a really good attack, and it's also very relevant against Malamar, which is otherwise fairly awkward. I mean, we still have Lycanroc that can take 1-hit KOs. It basically just means that our Buzz engine is kaput against the Malamar, so this acts as an alternate attacker, which is nice, in comparison to something like a pure BuzzRoc, where you're really reliant on just your Lycanroc. Now you have an extra attacker as well. So it's weird that this is a mesh between Zoroark and BuzzRoc. It's kind of in between. Rather than the BuzzRoc using an Oranguru Magcargo engine, you're using Zoroark. And rather than just a straight Zoroark, we have a really thick Lycanroc line, Power Pad, Stretcher, those sorts of cards. We're going to squeeze in a Buzzwole package for more early pressure. So it really does sit somewhere in the middle. And I like where that sits really in the format. So there are the 4 Zoroarks. We're going to play 2 Buzz-GX. This Jet Punch is such a good attack early on. Setting up damage counters, knocking out Zoruas in mirrors, setting up 30s on Rays, putting early damage counters, even against things like Buzzgarb Shrine. I think this is not the worst attacker to be using, because we already have 2 Acerola anyway, and their early game is not too much pressure. They're oftentimes just going for Choice Band, Diancie, like hitting for 80 on us, and if you have Acerola, that's fine. You can be doing Jet Punches, setting up Slugmas, setting up Trubbishes to take multiple knockouts. Maybe even in certain spots you can jump over the Sledgehammer turn. If you take a knockout on the active and then Jet Punch your way through to smaller things, you can avoid a 4 prize turn, which is really cool for you. Its other 2 attacks are relevant because we do have B-String. Knuckle Impact 160, we all know this is really good, and Absorption GX also an option in here if you feel like the Buzz-GX will tank a hit and be able to use Knuckle Impact the following turn. This can be a useful GX attack to you. And yeah, still a really good card in the format. Obviously, it is weak to Psychic, so you have to worry about a few things here and there, but just 2 of them I think is fine. It's probably the best lead in the deck. And we are also going to play 1 Baby Buzzwole, also a good lead, a little bit tanky. It has the, again, 1 energy attack cost of Sledgehammer, which can do 30. And on that beautiful 4 prize turn, you're going to do 90 more damage to go up to 120. We have Beast Energy in the list, we have Diancie in the list, we have Kukui in the list, and we have Choice Band in the list. So oftentimes this can take 2 for 1 prize swing. So that's really going to be nice for you. If you are pressurizing early with the Buzzwole or even a Zoroark and that gets knocked out, you're going to counter that with a Buzzwole. And bear in mind, even when you're up against Zoroark matchups when you're not on 4 prize cards, if you can assemble the combo of either Guzma or Lycanroc whilst getting Beast Energy, Choice Band, Diancie on the board, Sledgehammer can still take a 1-hit knockout. That's still the same for the Jet Punch as well, so bear those in mind. Trying to assemble that combo in a Zoroark mirror is going to be great for you as well in a mid-game situation. The Diancie's great. It allows us to do that big old combo for the 1 energy cost, which is awesome. But it also means that our Lycanroc does Claw Slashes for 130, which is really good against Baby Buzzes. And it's going to be really good against Garbodors and stuff like that as well. So really, really nice damage buff for us here. It does also have the attack Diamond Rain, which can heal all of your bench Pokemon. It would be really nice if this was costed a bit cheaper, but we don't have the option really for it if we are up against spread. That's one of the only gaps I think this deck has. It doesn't have a great spread matchup, even with 2 Acerola, but yeah, that would be one sort of concern matchup, in my opinion, but that's really about it. 2-2 line of Lycanroc, a bit thicker than the list we saw in the top 8, who just played a 1-1 count. I think the Lycanroc ability is too good to say no to. I want to thicken this and have it guaranteed available during a game. Bloodthirsty Eyes are obviously amazing, saves us a supporter that turn, so we can do more setup with Cynthia's, Disruption with Judge, or Acerola for healing in the same turn that we're doing Gusting. Or just even in general, having more outs to Gust is going to be really good for us. Claw Slash, a great attack to get through the single prize Pokemon, and obviously hits for weakness against Zoroark. Dangerous Rogue, going to be a big detonation of whatever you want if your opponent has filled up their board, which is oftentimes going to be the case if they want to get set up. We are weak to Grass, so we have to be a little bit concerned about using this against Zygarde-Ray, because of course they are usually teching Delmise. So do be aware of that. But otherwise, this guy is absolutely solid, and I like the 2-2 count in here. Finally, for fighting Pokemon, we're going to play this 1 Zygarde-GX. I did mention earlier in the video, I've inserted this to improve our Sylveon matchup. Obviously, Sylveon winning the tournament is now going to be a deck on people's radar. You can go down the line of Oranguru, or we could have the more aggressive option in this list by having the Zygarde-GX, using that Cell Connector to try and reattach Fighting Energy from our discard pile to him. Obviously, we can trade away Fighting Energies and get them back with Cell Connector. The reason why I like this over Oranguru is because it's much more aggressive in every other matchup. When you're not against Sylveon, this guy is still a very good lead for you, and it still puts a lot of pressure on with you when you have the Diancie in play. That's a turn 170. That's knocking out every basic that's trying to evolve, really. And you even have Choice Band as well, so if you're up against GXs, that can be 100 on turn 1 for a DCE. And, you know, it's a big tanky boy as well, 200 hit points. Again, it has that grass weakness, so bear that in mind, but this guy really is going to be a real pain for the Sylveon player because they basically have to get Crushing Hammerheads, Plumeria, and E-Hammer in the same turn after you've done a Cell Connector. And even if they do that, you play 4 DC anyway, so you can just Cell Connector, Cell Connector, Cell Connector until you can then move into Lanzaraf for 1-hit KOs or Verdict GX for 1-hit KOs as well. So this guy really, really going to be annoying. Again, in Zoro Mirrors, it's going to be powerful, and against Sylveon, I think it's worth the dedicated slots, to be honest. From there, 2 copies of Tapu Lele, helping us to energy drive through things, but also giving us that extra consistency of Wonder Tag via the Ultra Ball. Onto the item cards, it's really skimpy for a Zoroark deck. This is where our lists sort of differ, mine and the top 8 list. The top 8 list was a bit more standard, playing 1 Stretcher, 1 Pal Pad, and 1 Multi-Switch, and a Blower. Whereas I'm just sticking with the multi-switch. I feel like, personally, the Stretcher is kind of redundant now that I've thickened the line of Lycanroc. I could see why he needed it back then, but now I've thickened the line. Field Blower as well, I feel, is a luxury card right now. I don't think it's absolutely mandatory to play, and I want to just have the most outs to get the Lycanroc going, to be honest. The Pal Pad is one that I could definitely see coming back into this list. It's one I've sort of debated. I think right now I'm playing a 3rd Brooklet Hill over the Pal Pad just because I like the immediacy of this deck. I like how much pressure it puts on the board early, because oftentimes that's the overwhelming factor that will get you the most wins with this deck. If you're getting early Rockruffs down, getting that Diancie down for more powerful jet punches and stuff like that, that's what's been giving me a lot of wins. And also Brooklet, the more you have, the more you can bounce Shrine, which is also good for you. So if you want to play Pal Pad, by all means, drop a Brooklet. But for now, I'm just going very simple on the item count. This is one reason why I feel the Buzzgarb Shrine is still very winnable, even though we have weakness with the Buzzwoles and weakness with the Zoroarks. Because ultimately, if you power up a Lycanroc or a Zygarde, these aren't weak to Psychic. You play so few item cards and you get through the baby buzzes, you're chilling. You really are. The first few games I've had with this deck, I've been absolutely chilling because I basically had 2 nest balls in my discard pile and that was it. So yeah, I really like having the low item count right now in the format. It makes a lot of sense to me. So the one multi-switch going to offer a lot here, of course. Can get Lycanroc bursting out of nowhere. It can get Zygarde bursting. You can get all sorts of things going. And it's kind of like a pseudo switch card as well for you sometimes. I've used this to like move up a DC from the to the active, just so I could pay retreat out of like Buzzwoles and stuff if you need to attack with something else that turn. It's a really versatile one of. 2 copies B-String. Now we're only playing 6 fighting energy, so there is sometimes a discrepancy between how many energy are in your hand and how many are in your deck. So it's something you have to kind of manage a little bit carefully, but ultimately I feel like so far through playing this deck, you rarely ever need to use B-String more than once in a game for additional burst. Usually it's going to be burst with a Lycanroc, burst with a Buzzwole, and maybe like set up a KO with a Zoroark at some point while you're doing Acerola shenanigans. It doesn't feel like you need to B-String more than once in the deck, so I feel like having 2 copies is going to help us around prizing issues, and it's going to allow us to have access to it on the turn where we need it, but it's not as all-in as it would be for traditional BuzzRocs, for example, so I think the 2 count is absolutely on point. From there, 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball. I'm actually not playing any Apricorn Maker or Fan Club because they are fairly mediocre, I feel, for this deck, especially because we are trying to pressurize a lot more with our early game attackers. So we're just using these to try and set up our early Zoroarks and whatnot. That's pretty much the idea here. Alongside the 3 Brooklet Hills, I feel like we don't need to play Devoured Field because we have a multitude of different attackers which can set up damage for against things like Rayquaza. And against Baby Buzzwole, we're going to be trying to main the Lycanroc a lot of the time. Even then, we have 2 Kukuis if we need to attack with our Zoro. So I really like having Brooklet. It thins the deck for us, gets Rockruffs on the board. Very, very powerful card overall. Onto the support account. It may be a little bit cheeky just to be playing 1 Judge right now, but I think we're absolutely safe against Sylveon anyway because we have the Zygarde. So if you're concerned about that, it's not really a problem. Again, I would go back to saying maybe try and add a Pal Pad before going into a second Judge. I know a lot of people are torn on this card. A lot of people say it's really important to have multiple. Some people say it's a one-off that they don't like using because they just want to get their own side set up. I kind of sit on that camp a little bit, but respect that a 1 copy is still going to be really big for the likes of Tempest turns, Algorithm turns, Steven's Decision turns, all those sorts of things. Judge is just a really nice card to have some disruption, and even late game in mirror matches against Zoroark players, it can be good. So I like having the 1 copy. Again, if you're worried about just 1, you can go to a 2 count by dropping a Brooklet or just playing a Pal Pad. That's fine too. 1 copy of Mallow for assembling some pieces. Always good on turn 2 for getting you into DC or whatever else you need. You can also grab you things like Lycanroc, B-String, multi-switch combos, all sorts of different things the Mallow is going to be excellent for. 2 copies of Professor Kukui. It's going to be really nice for our Zoroarks, reaching a bit better numbers. Really nice on the Lycanroc as well. Additional draw power. It even means that if we are going first, we can target down a lot more Pokemon by just using Jet Punch. That 30-30 can then become 50-30 with the Diancie, and then 70-30 with Kukui. So we can even use Lycanroc to bring things up like Grubbins and do a Jet Punch KO. That's really powerful as well. So the Kukui alongside Diancie really, really does combo nicely with this early game package that we are starting to play here. Then we're going to play 2 copies of Acerola for that jumping around. We have high HP basics now in addition to the Zoroark, which can really benefit from Acerola. 2 copies of Lily for that early game supporter, hoping to draw into big hand sizes. I've flip-flopped the Cynthia and Lily counts. I'm not sure which one's best right now. Lily's always felt kind of meh because we do play a lot more energy than we do in other Zoroark builds. So oftentimes you're not Lilying for 6 cards. A lot of the time it's Lilying for 4 cards. So at the moment I'm just playing 2 and having a higher Cynthia count. It's what the top 8 list played, so I'm following suit with that one. I think that's a well-tested count to just have less Lilies than Cynthias overall. And 3 Guzmas as well, in addition to the Lycanrocs. I think that's fine. Again, if you're looking for that Palpad space, you could drop 1 Guzma down and play the Palpad, but so far from my experience against other Zoroarks, which are the only other decks playing Palpad, which in theory means they're the only decks playing things like more heal than you do, you're just going to aggressively outpace them anyway. I've never wanted Palpad in those matchups, so if we don't need it for Zoroark, I don't see what we really do need it for, unless it's something like a mill deck where you want more Acerolas, but that doesn't sound like it's worth teching for in my head. So at the moment, just 3 Guzmas, because Guzma's a really good card alongside these Lycanrocs. We want to pick off things as much as possible. Onto the energy cards, 1 copy of Beast, obviously amazing on our Buzzwole package. For that big burst, it means that once again we are pressurizing early basics really nicely. We have Mallow to pull this out as well alongside Zoroark trading into it, so it's similar to a Magcargo engine that you see in BuzzRoc trying to fish this out at the right time. 4 copies of DC, obviously, good for claw slashing, energy driving, and Ratus beating alongside the cell connector attack. And the 6 fighting energy. As I said, you could consider having something like energy recycle system, which then means that basically any time you see a fighting energy in your hand, you just trade it away instantly. And then on your Beast Ring turn, you can go energy recycle system into Beast Ring to guarantee it. But I don't feel like that's worth having a space, and having 6 energy in the early game just for attachments is better than having just 1 energy recycle system in your hand that can also clog. So I think 6 is, again, just a well-tested amount that we saw in the top 8 list. I think overall it was a really nice build that we see, and it was refreshing that a lot of the counts made a lot of good sense. So in terms of Pokemon, I don't feel like there's anything else I really want to add in here. I've pretty much teched out the attacker of Zygarde for the current meta, but that's really about all you need to do. You can fiddle around with counts if you want even more support for this early game engine. As I said, Palpad, Stretcher, Field Blower, these are cards that were in the top 8 list, so I definitely can't argue with you if you want to be playing these, because they are commonplace item cards that you see in the Zoroark decks. But right now, I don't feel like it's absolutely mandatory to play those cards. I just want to make sure I have a thick supporter line. I think thickening the Lycanroc line is just a no-brainer in my opinion. Seeing a 1-1 line always makes me a little bit nervous, especially when it's something as important as a Lycanroc. So let's go into some games and see how this deck does. I've been testing it a little bit today, and it has been performing quite well. So I'm a fan of this list, and I think it's one to look out for, because it did get far in the tournament. Didn't quite take down the win, but with a few tools around Mill, maybe it could have gone further, and that's why we've made the change. I don't actually know what he faced in top 8. Someone can tell me down below what he eventually lost to. It may have been... oh man, I don't even know, but the deck seems very solid and has answers for a lot, even though it doesn't look like it has answers for things like the Buzz Shrine variant. I think so far the couple of games that I've had against it have been pretty favourable, just because the Lycanroc is such a pain to deal with. So we are going to see what we're up against here. We're going to get to go first, which is always great news. We do lead a Rockruff, which is not one of our better leads, but we do have Brooklet Hill, Nest Ball, Ultra Ball, and Cynthia, so it's going to be a pretty strong start from us, no matter what. No energy so far, but we should be able to dig for that. And let's see what we're up against. It looks to be a Vika Bulu, or a Vika Ray, one of the two things. And it's frustrating that we let a Rockruff, because it is very good to get early pressure on things like the Rayquaza. We have our other Rockruff. We actually have all of our Pokemon apart from the Diancie in the deck. I think our turn 1 attachment is going to be to our active, because we have gone first, and there's no way that Vika Ray can punish this. I'm going to slap the Brooklet Hill down. I think I just want to fish out the baby Buzzwole here as a little backup for when we go for this Lycanroc turn 2, as I play the Cynthia here. It was a relatively reasonable hand to sit on, but look at this. We've drawn into more Zoruas, and that's going to be nice for us going into our next turn. Not a lot going on in the hand from here, so this trade is going to have to be big next turn, and our top deck, but a lot of things could be happening. The fact they've led Delmise is a little bit awkward for us. Especially because we've prized our Diancie. So we'll have to see how this goes. Early attachment to the Rockruff as well really makes him think twice about putting down a bunch of Rayquazas and Lele and stuff like that. We could really punish him for those sorts of lines. We are going to see the early Ultra Ball though, getting rid of Choice Band and Stretcher. Choice Band isn't in every Ray list, so it may be a Bulu. But no, it is a Ray. Didn't discard any energy from his opening search, so I wonder if he'll go for the Stormy Winds here. Yep, he is going to, and he hits energy. Feels good, man. 2 Ultra Balls gone already, though. Might hurt his outs a little bit. Let's see if he can get the Ray into the active position for a Tempest. It could even be like a turn on Guzma and then Tempest. But no, it looks like a Lele. Could just be Lele for like Fan Club. Lele for Lily here, okay. If they only get one grubbing down, it could potentially be punished very heavily. Right now our hand doesn't have the option to do it, but it's got to be going on in his head right now. And we are going to see the Nest Ball to cover himself in that department. If he can draw into a switch, that would be bonkers. Gets a manual attachment on the Ray. And that should probably be the end of the turn. Yep. Okay. One very big trade here. I think I'm Brookleting first to improve our odds. I don't mind getting a second Lycanroc down. We want to have the option to gust a lot here, because we'll have to gust around this Delmise if we're going for a Lycanroc KO anyway. Ultra Ball Cynthia is really, really good here. That gives us some pretty good outs. We're going to get rid of the Zorua here. I don't know if it's best to just get another Zoroark down rather than... I think I'll just go Zoroark Cynthia rather than Lycanroc Cynthia. I think this is safer. We could also trade first. We know we have our other Buzz-GX in the deck. Yeah, I'll trade first, as it is a freebie that I don't mind getting rid of. Oh, now the Lily Seal seems even more appealing than the Cynthia because we're already holding Ultra Ball. 4 cards to energy. Okay, let's go for it. Wrong energy. Feels bad, man. We do have another trade, though. Let's get rid of this nest. So what we could do is we could pay retreat on Rockruff, Ultra Ball for Lycan, and just get a 60 damage Sledgehammer on the Rayquaza. That would probably mean that the following turn we go into Zoroark and start swinging. We have 3 Zoroarks on the board, so it's actually quite reasonable. I don't mind this. It basically sacks our Lycanroc as a GX attacker. But I don't think it's the worst thing that we could be doing. It's still a lot of good early pressure on their only Ray on the board. So let's pay retreat out of here. Do this. Bring up Ray. And let's hit it for 60. Because we know he's playing choice bands, so he's filled his board quite a lot, so he can't get a lot of extra burst with multiple Rays coming onto the board, so we can definitely pressurize the amount of energy he keeps on his board each turn. Vikavolt comes down, we see an attachment. Let's see if he can get another Ray down or not. They're just going to Cynthia pre-strong charge, even though they've got their turn attachment, which is a little bit funky. I guess they want to guarantee attachments on a Ray. They are going to play their third Ultra Ball here. I'd be a little concerned if this is for another Vikavolt. If it's a Ray, I'm fairly happy. Whenever two Vikavolts get onto the board, you are worried, no matter what you're playing. Here comes Ray number 2, though. Let's see if they use Stormy Winds. They once again do. Here comes the strong charge. And there's Dragon Break. Taking one prize. We can go into Zoroark here. I'm fairly content just to bench bench Buzz-GX and go for a Cynthia here before all of our trades. I think seeing 12 cards, we should see a DCE. There's one straight off the bat. Let's trade away a Zoroark. Don't feel like we're going to have time to get a fourth out with our board. You can trade away the Zygarde. That's not going to be fast enough this game. Kukui's not a bad thing to hold. I feel like I just want to get rid of an energy here. We play so many. I think trying to find that B-string next turn is going to be important. If he is able to take a knockout on us. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 to 10. So he would have to get a Ray plus an attachment plus a strong charge. Like a Ray ability. Or he would have to go attachment, strong charge, choice band. The choice band we will put here, I think. And we will just Rage Beating. If we could get a B-string off the prizes, that would be excellent as well. No luck there. Also, of course, if they get a second Vikavolt up, that's obviously going to be a means of getting a knockout. Let's see what they're able to come up with here. Also, there's 2 lightning in the discard and 2 in play. Potentially that's something to be aware of. Not too big of a deal, though. It's normally 7 of each. Some lists play 6 lightning. My list plays 6 lightning. Because I play batons. An attachment of lightning to the Delmise really doesn't make sense. He still has a strong charge to it twice, basically. Maybe he's thinning pre-Lily. Indicates it's not the strongest of hands, though, which is good for us. They're going to Volkner. Maybe this is getting a Vikavolt piece. Could just be getting a Ray down as well. You could be looking for a Mysterious Treasure to use Stormy Winds again. Just going to be... Oh, a Stretcher as well. Yeah, that's the same as a... So this Zoroark will fall. As long as he still has enough energy to strong charge, which I imagine he will. So far we've seen 5 lightnings. 2 in the discard, 3 on board. Stormy Winds. He'll strong charge onto the other Ray. So it's down to us to hit B-string here. We have Lele, so as long as we have Mallow available to us, because we haven't played it just yet, we should be able to KO this. And he'll be at 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So again, he'd have to get another Ray out. Oh my god, he only hit... Wait. Was he only able to strong charge 1 energy? Oh boy. Well, that's really good for us. Really, really good for us. Okay. So, now then. How do we punish this? Start by drawing some cards, huh? We want to find Guzma. So we can Guzma multi-switch KO. Nice. Do I put down my other Lycanroc just so I can take an extra energy off the board? Don't think it's worth it. Multi-switch. That's there. The only thing, if I start trading any more, I don't want to draw into any more fighting energies, really. But we still need to hit our B-string, I guess. Let's get rid of this. Oh, no. It's the worst trade possible. Okay. Get out of here. There's our B-string, but I don't know if there's enough energy in there for us to actually make it work. Interesting that he promotes the Ray here and not the Delmise. Attachment to the Vikavolt isn't a problem. Can see a strong charge. Onto that Delmise. Potentially we could see a Giga Drain KO on our Zoroark. That would be pretty troll. If he once again falls short, that's just going to be... Yeah. Oh, not even a KO? Wow. That's really interesting. Okay. Well then, let's... do it like this. And just claw slash this guy. And then we just have Guzma or Lycanroc for game on the Grubbin. Is there anything else I need to be concerned about? No, I don't think so. Take 2 more energy off the board. I think they just missed Recycler and droughted supporter-wise. They should have taken the 2 prizes, though, I feel. This 60 does nothing. They're going to Volkner, likely for Energy Recycler at this point. But I mean, they can only... Oh, they're going for Choice Band, okay. Maybe they drew into Recycler. It's 180, they need to strong charge and energy. I guess they probably have 1 in there. No, not even 1. Feels bad, man. Well, We'd wiped off enough energy on the board to make it absolutely free. So there you go. Feels good, man. That was with leading a Rockruff and paying retreat out of it as well, which feels really good. If we were to lead any of our 4 better leads, or even Zorua, so we had 8 better leads. No, we had 10 better leads than the Rockruff. I think literally only Diancie was a worse lead. And we still won. We did go first, though, admittedly. And he kind of droughted, admittedly. But we had B-strings available, and it was always in our control. Which is a pretty good feeling. Looks like we've got another Zygarde-Ray. It did come second, and people don't want to play Sylveon, so it basically came first in people's eyes. In terms of what deck they should be picking up. And I think thanks to the Buzzwole edition, it's not a bad matchup for us. We have a great start here with high rolling the Beast Energy in our opening hand, and we have Nestball Lele as well. This is incredible. If he leads Ray, I think we just won straight away. Oh my god, it's not what I thought it was. But Beast Energy on Oranguru is just filth. It's just so mean. It's just not fair. It's really just not fair. They play Volkners still. So maybe it's Venusaur-Ray. For some reason. I don't know why you play Venusaur over Vikavolt, to be honest. Vikavolt self-thins the deck. Means you need to draw many more cards to make your combo work with Venusaur. And there's the high roll potential of getting 2 Vikavolts out, which is just like too much damage to deal with for every deck. Our opponent's going to Volkner for Energy Ultra Ball. They are playing Ray. And they went for the high roll of hitting the Stormy Winds after getting Ultra Ball Energy in their hand, choosing not to play it. Looks like they're playing Batons, which is one thing that's pretty cool with the Venusaur list. Something that I play in my Vikavolt list, actually. And we're going to have a not-so turn here. We're going to do this. Actually, he's putting Baby Buzz down best here. We'll put 30 on the Ray. So I think a Baby Buzz... no, this is still fine. We're not gonna... The Buzzwole's not gonna go down straight away. Can do this, do this. Lily for 6. Oh, sorry, Lily for 5. Keeping a B-string and a Zoroark in our hand sounds pretty busted. And a Guzma in case they don't get Candy Evolve. Oh my god. This deck is absolutely busted. We got Mallow as well for next turn. My goodness, this is just not fair. It really does just feel good. It really does. Definitely worthy of a top 8 placement in the biggest European regional. It just feels really strong. Obviously we high rolled the Beast, which makes us look even cooler. But one of our nest balls could have just been for Diancie instead of this card, and then we would have done 130. And he still has the headache of trying to move his guy, and then we can just do a Jet Punch now or later anyway, so... I think the Beast Energy would have been a bigger deal had the Ray been active than the Monkey, in all honesty. But this is still pretty insane. You don't complain when you hit it, right? Pretty bonkers. Volkner into Volkner. That's one way to assemble your candy combo. Do it turn 1, then do it turn 2. A DIY candy combo. Taking his time with the Volkner. Maybe it's not the candy combo. Maybe it's something else. Next turn though, if he hits us, yeah, it's just gonna be the candy. If he hits us for like 120 or whatever, we could try and dig for DC Acerola. We need Choice Band as well, actually. Maybe this Buzzwole is just a sacrificial one. They're gonna Lotto into a grass, which means he can attack with a Ray this turn, because we know he has Ultra Ball Candy. One slight factor is that Venusaur isn't weak to fighting, so we can't just gust it up and kill it as easily, because it also has 160 hit points. I think the ability is called Jungle Totem. Testing my knowledge now. There it is, Jungle Totem Venusaur. I wonder if we'll see a Tempest rather than a Dragon Break here. I'm going to put another Ray down. Go for the ability. Pretty cool that you can essentially attach like 2 energy for 1 Ray ability. So now he's at 150. Pretty cool. Not quite the combo though. Ooh, we hit DCE, that is juicy. I'll do 1 trade pre-Mallow. So what are we Mallowing for now then? We definitely want to get an attachment in. What am I even trading away here? If we hit this for 60, this for 30, next turn we can go Lycanroc, KO with Sledgehammer on this one. That feels really powerful. So we want to try and set that up. We already have the energy via B-strings. So I'm going to attach to a Zoroark this turn. So we're just going to go Choice Band and Lycanroc, I think. Maybe it's energy, because we already have the Guzma, and putting a physical energy out feels weird when we're about to be B-stringing, but it means we can attach the Rockruff and B-string on the same turn. And that feels like we just win, to be honest. So this is set up for next turn. Because we have everything we really need to tackle this game already in hand. If we just do this. So next turn is Guzma Sledgehammer with Choice Band on this guy, whilst by using the B string to attach to this, and then we manually attach the Rockruff. This has 90 left. We can deal with it with Zoroark or with the Lycanroc to finish off the game. So feels comfortable at this point, to be honest. Just from 2 nice jet punches, basically, has won us the game. So you already know that this is at 150. So let's sequence correctly. B string first. If we have our other BuzzGX in here, we actually just checkmate him instantly. Oh my god. Well, checkmate, I guess. When you have two B strings, it's just checkmate. Pretty simple. Look at this. Absolutely disgusting. Throwing a non-GX into the active, taking a KO, all pre-trade, and we have everything we could ever need. Absolutely disgusting. Oh my god, it just gets... I don't even need to trade. Everything's too good. I think I actually put this energy here. Yeah, I don't think we need to even use Lycanroc this game. I mean, it's only a Venusaur-Ray, so I wouldn't read too much into how much we destroyed this, but it's a similar concept to Vika-Ray, and having a good Vika-Ray is pretty good right now. Good Vika-Ray, good Zoroark. High fives all around, I think. Good Malamar as well, I'm just going to go out and say that, because you're basically just a Zoroark shell. Only concern is that I've cut weakness policies, so you are a little bit worse against Marshadow. And randomly leading like BuzzGX is bad, but... I think the genuine biggest concerns for this deck would be like Shrine Mally, potentially Buzzgarb, Shrine. I've only tested a few games against that matchup. There could be more work to be done there. I think those are the biggest concern matchups. We've covered Mill now with this guy. Covered a lot of bases. And we just draw better than other decks because we're still a Zoro engine. BuzzRoc will be an unfavored because... I mean, I guess if we can target Oranguru and Magcargo, we can kill their engine. But they're going to be trying to kill our engine at the same time. It's just... They take 2 prizes whilst killing the engine, and we only take 1. So definitely a few matchups to be concerned about, but the inherent power level is definitely there for this deck. It's pulling out some pretty insane stuff. What is this, turn 3 and we already set up checkmate? Turn 4 maybe. So we're just going through the motions now. Just doing our trades. Making sure we don't lose ourselves the game. That would be silly after gushing about this deck for so long. We're just going to Guzma kill this one with this boy. And it feels like we're just super duper ahead. Only attacker on the board has 90 hit points left. May not even be able to finish off this Buzz. Again, it felt like the stage 2 decks fizzled, to be honest. Having to use Voltner engines in both situations meant that they just didn't have a hand to go off of. They were guaranteeing their pieces, but they just didn't have a follow-up to that. We're going to see a Let Loose, or another Lele, or another Ray. Who knows? Don't think it really matters anymore. We're presenting game on board in all sorts of different directions. Two B strings. Feels good, man. Pulling literally all the energy out of our deck. So silly. And they're really taking their time over this. But I can't stress enough how locked in this game feels for me right now. Feels good to high roll beast energy. Either way, we're going to be taking 7 prizes this game, so the monkey KO wasn't a big deal. The 30 damage on the bench was a bigger deal. Oh my god, dude, just play your cards, thank god. There we go. Dealt some damage. Good job, Buzzwole. Let's get one final game in with this deck. Hopefully we face something that's not Ray, just to give it some sort of different dimension. To be fair, though, if we face a Zoroark variant, it may be a quick game as well, just because we can really pound through them pretty quickly. I saw Water Psychic Colorless. Please tell me this is Lapras Quagsire. just because it would be great to see that. I don't think Swampert and Polion plays Colorless. I don't think they play Monkey. Get to go first here. Going first, we have so many good leads in this deck. It's actually silly. Oh my god, it is. Poggers. Yes. Awesome. So how do I beat this deck? I've created a monster. Us going first is a big deal. Really big deal. I think it's correct just to get a bunch of Zoruas down against him, you know. But we do have a turn 1 attachment, so I think we could just get a Rockruff. More Zoroarks and more Zoroarks. I'm actually just going to Ultra Ball for a Lele. No, I'm not. It's so bad against this matchup. I could Ultra Ball for Rockruff, attach DC active, and then just Cynthia 6. Or I could just hold this and guarantee a Zoroark for next turn. That sounds even better. Let's just do that. Nestball, attach, pass. We could have played the Kukui, actually. But Kukui is not bad against the Volk Prism Star because we have Jet Punch as well. Potentially next turn we don't even use Cynthia, we just Kukui to hit 140 for that very purpose. So we can go into like an Acerola, Jet Punch. That is if he hits us the following turn. We'll see how his combo fits together. Because at the end of the day, it's still a combo deck. But it's fun to see people testing out Lapras, if it is Lapras. So far I've just seen a Volk Prism Star and got really overexcited, but also seeing an Acrobike and yeah, Quagsire, my boy. Yep, it's the deck. It's the one and only. There it is. Now we aren't playing Field Blower, so EXP Share is going to be active the entire game. Potentially one way around it is if he puts all energy on the Volk and we do that Jet Punch KO while it's on the bench. That's a really nice turn 1 from him though. Gets Wooper down, Guru down, 2 Lapras. So to Jet Geyser or Water into the discard pile. Gets an attachment in as well. Feels like a pretty good turn 1. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to be having to sack Kukui here. You can also sack a Fighting Energy. We're just going to grab Zoroark. I think evolving the active is fine. Evolving the bench means we actually have better pay retreat options. I know I just got rid of a fighting energy, but I still wanted to bench this Zorua, so... And I think we have plenty of outs in this list to retreat or hit more Zoroarks. Kind of an awkward hand. I think I'm getting rid of a B-string here. Very awkward hand. We will be paying retreat on this Zorua, which means we don't get that nice attachment on a Rockruff, which kind of sucks, but pressurizing a Volk Prism Star is one of the keys to beat this deck, because Volk Prism Star is so vital to get off a big Sauna Blast. Giving him Brooklet can allow him to get maybe a second Wooper down, but there's one already in the disc. Oh no, it's the Quag that's in the discard pile. So yeah, he does get that free Wooper. Gonna see the Cynthia. They're looking to find Energy, Quagsire, Aqua Patch, some combination of those cards. Failing that, then like a Switch Raft at the very least, so he can collect. Stretcher would be nice for him. For the Quagsire. We'll see. We'll see. Second attachment to the Lapras. Aqua Patch. Maybe it's just Switch Raft instead of Quagsire. Jet Geyser. Going to be shifting us out the way. And a pass. Okay. I'm going to attach energy card and play Cynthia, I think. Also going to get out a baby Buzzwole for pressure purposes. Oh man, don't make me pay retreat again. That's really gonna suck. That's really gonna be bad news for us. The deck is hungry for energy cards. That sucks. That really sucks. And it means it's our only Zoroark as well, which can die to Choice Band Kukui. Feels bad. Now, hitting the Lapras may seem like a good idea. But I mean, we're not even going to get the chance to one-hit KO it because... But for me, the Volk Prism Star is such a big card to deal with. Just not letting him get that Sauna Blast is going to make all these Acerola-able, because he can't Kukui every turn. And it also makes him worried that we could deal with his other Quagsire. So even though we have the option to Gust and hit Lapras, I think this is correct. Potentially Gusting up the Guru is also optional because his hand size is so low. If they get Choice Band Kukui, I'm a little scared. If not, we're feeling fine. Then get their third Lapras out. Lily means we're alive. And we have Acerola in hand, so I feel good now. Just going to be an Ice Beam GX, that's absolutely fine. Beast in hand is awesome for us. We'll trade away Lily. Here they come. Here come the lads. We can definitely get rid of Brooklet Hills because both decks play the same stadium. We will Acerola. Don't know if I want to put down the other Zorua again. We could be threatening some B-string shenanigans for big one-hit KOs later on. Let's see what we trade. first. Oh boy. Well, we drew into another Zoroark, so I don't mind putting this down now. We have the debatable choice of gusting something again, but I think at this point we can start targeting. I won't gust until he actually puts down the Quagsire. There's no point in targeting one Wooper. When its hand size is big, I'm not too threatened by the Guru. Oh, Choice Band Kukui, busted. More EXP shares coming down. Blizzard Burn. So he has two. He's completely misplayed this by putting the EXP shares on the Laprases. He needs to. Maybe it's because his prizes are the Quagsire or something. But now the Zoroarks can't be knocked out ever. So realistically, we could just go into a Zoroark. But because we've got through a lot of DCEs now, I've had to pay retreat a bunch. Not too happy with trying to find a DCE. Let me check if there's any still left in the deck, actually. Yeah, there's still one. So we are really low on energy at this point. Is our... Yeah, Mallow's not here either, so I can't force out B-String. We're going to have to try and draw into B-String whilst avoiding our energy cards, which is going to be fun. I might genuinely need to keep Zygarde for Cell Connector to keep enough energy in this deck. Again, fun times. All those painful pay retreats looks pretty silly now. No B-String yet. If we can get B-String off this trade and keep both energy in the discard pile, though, we are looking pretty poggers. Damn, no luck there. Okay. I think the only way we lose now is with us running out of energy. But we can Diancie, Zygarde, and Cell Connector a Wooper to take us on odd prizes again. Oh, sorry, back to even prizes. And he can't one-shot the Zygarde because of the EXP shares anyway, so feels fine. Third energy goes on to Lapras. We're going to see the Ultra Ball. They're finally digging out Quagsire. Good old Lapras Quag. What a deck. It's just really bad to put EXP shares on your Laprases. He's going to gust up Rockruff, which is fine. Not a problem. It actually frees up the bench space for the Zygarde KO on this. So that's what we're going to try and dig for. We have 1 DCE and 11 cards. So that's what we're going to try and dig for here. Do I want to do anything else? We still have the option of doing the B-String as well if we keep enough fighting energy in the deck. Let's get rid of the Ultra Ball. Oh, there's one fighting energy. Uh-oh. Let's get rid of Brooklet. B-String other energy? No! No! And no DCE? This could not have gone worse. Okay, we have to do it this way. I think none of this matters just because there's EXP shares on his Lapras though. He can't even kill this. Oh wait, we still have one trade. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I didn't realize we still had a trade. If I could have got the DC off this, I'm going to be so sad. Oh boy. It's because we have our multi-switch, so the Buzzwole can tank, then we just attach multi-switch dead. So it's not a problem. Yeah, sure. That's why there is some call to playing, whatchamacallit? The energy recycle system, because then we can draw these energies, bin them all, and get back into B-string potential without too much fear of drawing into them. They've already used their GX attack. Blizzard Burn, even with Kukui, can't finish us off. So I feel pretty fine here. Guzma actually denies our option. But it's just going to be a slow grind for death now. I can just attach to the Buzzwole and be fine. We know we can't take 2 prizes. Is there any reason to pull this out? Just in case we get judged, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't feel like there's much reason to not put it out either. So we have inevitability now. We only lose to Field Blower Choice Band. And I don't think the list plays Field Blower. Mine didn't. I don't mind losing to someone fitting in a Field Blower. I think there's a lot of cards that go in before Blower. We could have played even safer and attached the DCE to the Zoroark and just smacked. And then we have to lose. Then we would have to lose to Field Blower Choice Band Kukui. But oh well. There's Kukui. Don't you say you have... Wait, does this kill me? I forgot the Hydro Pump is murder. Okay, Hydro Pump didn't murder us. I forgot that Hydro Pump can actually, like, detonate. I completely forgot that maths. Oh well. We got there. Yeah, how many energy was on the board? 6? 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 180. We actually could have died to Kukui Hydro Pump. I'm so bad. Yeah, we should have brought up the Zoroark. I'm so dumb. Fortunately, he didn't have any switch rafts. Man, that could have been embarrassing. Losing when we had it absolutely locked. Just because of me forgetting to trade one time. But anyway, this deck feels really powerful. And from those games, I hope you agree. And that third game has got a little bit of a clown fiesta where it really didn't need to be. I retreated too many times just from missing Zoroarks in the early game. But we still completely had control of the game. The Buzzwole package is really powerful. Lycanroc still puts in a shift, and Zygarde can get you out of a pinch. So a lot going on in here. I really do like this list that was brought to us from the Frankfurt Regionals by a very creative Russian player. And yeah, I think it's one to be on the radar for, because I think, once again, it answers a lot in the format right now. Probably the safest Zoro build, I would say. So that's going to be it, guys. Let me know what you think of the list, and tell me what other decks you want to see. I think I'll be profiling a few of the Frankfurt decks with my own twists on it for the post-tournament, what I feel needs to change for those decks. So going to be lots on the way. So I hope you did enjoy this, and see you guys soon.